book lovers. This is Jenny at Juliababyjen's reading room, and this is my very first ever vlog. I'm going to try this for the first time. I got a new laptop, so I thought I would try it out. Today I'm going to do in my mailbox. This is like number 20 or 21 for me. I'm going to highlight all the books I bought. A lot of them I got from the library, and this is actually the last 2 weeks. I got a few ebooks as well, a few things from NetGalley, and so here we go. So the first books I'm going to highlight are the ones that I bought. I have not bought as many books recently. That's why there's so many from the library. We just moved. You can see the new house in the background. If it's messy, we're still unpacking. But moving costs a lot of money, so I really can't afford to be buying extra things. But these next couple books I found on sale online at booksamillion.com. I'm a member, so I get free shipping. So anytime there's something really cheap, I go ahead and pick it up. And the first one I got was Delirium Stories by Lauren Oliver. It just released. The new story is Raven. They put them all in one book, which was so nice, so I didn't have to go buy all the ebooks and read them. I just finished reading Requiem. I read all these already. Raven was definitely the best book out of all of the short stories. Alex came. It was an extra short story about Alex, about his escape from the crypts, and it wasn't as good as I hoped, but it was in the back of Requiem, so I read all of them now. I read the entire series, and I love Requiem. I've heard lots of negative reviews about it, and I can see why. And there were a few things I didn't quite like, but for a finale in the series, I thought it was really good, and I really liked the last page of the book. But yes, if you want to read the short stories, they will help you understand more of Requiem. There's a lot of backstory, especially with Raven and Hannah. And Annabelle too. Actually, they all have backstory, but really, you should read Raven. It will totally change your view on Raven, I guarantee it. Another book I bought from BAM that was really cheap was Gone. A few friends of mine on Goodreads have been reading this series and swear they love it. So this book was really cheap, so I went ahead and picked it up. I think it was like $1.99, so I'm like, well, why the heck, might as well try it. It's a pretty big book, so it'll probably be a while till I get to it. And then another book I had to get on release day. I had to justify the expense because I knew for a year I was going to buy this book. I'm sure you all know which book it is. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. So excited. It's going to be a little while before I read it, unfortunately. I'm going to reread the first two because I want to reread the whole series altogether. And a friend of mine has never read the books. She's read The Mortal Instruments, but she hasn't read this series. So while she's reading it, I'm going to be rereading with her, and we're going to kind of talk about it. So that'll be really fun. I've seen some reviews. People have said they loved it. It was great, heartbreaking, which I expected. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I can't wait to see how she wraps this up because I love this series. It's one of my favorites ever. Next, I'm going to talk about ebooks. I did get some books from NetGalley. I'm not going to go into every single one of them. I'll list them below for you. But there are two that I was really excited to get. I got The Deepest Night by Shanna Aim, which is a sequel to The Sweetest Dark. I haven't read The Sweetest Dark yet. I've got that to read as well. But I've heard really good things about it, so I'm excited I got the sequel. And then the other one that I was really excited to get was The Girl with the Iron Touch by Katie Cross. Again, it's the third in the series and haven't read the first two, but I do have them on my shelf, so I can't wait to read them. And for my Nook, I got Wait for You. If you can see that here, I'll try to get it out of the light. It's actually by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Love her books. She's writing in her pen name. I think it's J. Lynn is the pen name. And this looks like an NA book, so this will be reviewed on my After Dark blog. But I'm excited she's writing some more books. Yay! And it looks like it might be a series too, so awesome. I also got Grasping at Eternity from Karen Amanda Hooper. Next, I've got my library books, and there are a lot. We just, this is my last weekend of spring break. We were off 12 days. I work at a preschool, so we follow the same school schedule as my kids, which is really nice. So when they're on spring break, I'm on spring break. And I didn't get as many library books read as I'd hoped, fortunately. I kind of got stuck with a couple of my friends on Goodreads are reading certain books like Requiem that I had to read, so I didn't get as much read as I wanted to, but most of the books I checked out are children's books, so they won't take very long to read. Um, I picked out a whole bunch because I figured children's books, I can read one or two or three, I could read probably 3 children's books in a day, but I was busy. I was also unpacking and cleaning and all that good stuff too, so that took into a good chunk of the day. But the first one I have here, I've been really looking forward to reading this one forever. The Penderwicks by Gian Birdsall. And the librarian, even when I checked it out, was like, oh, that's such a good book, you're going to love it. So, and there are some sequels to it too, so it looks interesting. And I've got, I never even heard of this book, but I saw it on the shelf and it looked gorgeous, so I had to grab it. Pegasus by Kate O'Hearn. It looks like a mythology read, obviously. Read the cover, and it's like a brand new book. It's just gorgeous. I loved the cover, so I had to get it. I don't know. One of those things. This one I'd seen for a while too, being reviewed, and it got good reviews, so I thought I'd try it. Eye of the Storm, Kate Messner. Looks pretty good. I like freak accidents and storms and things like that, so that's always fun. And I'm ashamed to say I haven't watched the movie and I haven't read any of the books, but here we go. The Bad Beginnings, The Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. And these are really nice and short, so I'm sure, I don't know how many books there are, like 14, but I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll try it. I haven't even seen the movie, so I kind of didn't want to watch the movie until I read the books, which is normally how I do it. This one, my daughter's class, she's a 3rd grader, is going to be reading soon, and it is an Iowa Children's Choice Award. Our library highlights those in the children's section, so I grabbed a couple. This one looked good. It's called The Wish Stealers by Tracy Trevis. It just looks really good. I forget what the synopsis is, but I read a synopsis and I was like, oh yeah, this looks good. And my daughter's reading it too, so it'll be fun to talk with her about it while she's reading it. Another one that was on their pile of Iowa's Children's Choice was Love Aubrey by Suzanne LaFleur. Again, this one looked really good. These are more middle grade. It looks like, I think she's 12 or 13. Oh, she's 11-year-old. And she's lost her family, it looks like. So she's trying to live alone in a tree house and trying to suffice on her own. Of course, there's a parent or a guardian or something there who's watching her, it looks like. But, you know, children's fantasy. What would it be like to live completely on my own with no adults? I'm sure that's the thrill of it. It looks really good. Another one is a series that I've seen a lot of and heard good things about by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Found the Missing. I think I have the other series. I've never read them. I think the kids might have read them at some point, but they're on my shelf. But this one I thought looked even better, so we thought we would try this one. Now we're on to some adult library books. This one I've already read. This is probably the 3rd time I read it, but I checked it out and I'm about halfway through rereading it. It's my favorite Sophie Kinsella book, and I've read, I think, all of them. This one is Can You Keep a Secret? And if you've never read Sophie Kinsella, this is the one I would pick up and read. A lot of people read the Shopaholic book or the first 1 or 2 and were like, this isn't for me. And honestly, her Shopaholic series is not my favorite either. I read them because I like Sophie Kinsella and they're quick, easy reads, but they're not that great to me either. I don't relate to the heroine at all. This one is just, every woman will be able to relate to this woman. And it's a standalone, which is nice. It's about a girl, well, an English lady. Her name is, oh goodness, Emma. I couldn't remember her first name. Her name is Emma. And she fails at everything she tries. And this is like her 5th career attempt in marketing. And she's sent off to a meeting on her own for the first time to France. And she's all excited, but she goofs it all up. And on the way back in the plane, she gets upgraded to business class because the stewardess feels sorry for her. She looks so dejected and she spilled something down her front and she's just having a really bad day and it's obvious. So she upgrades her and she sits next to this American man. And about halfway through the flight, they go through horrible turbulence. Really bad. They think they're going to die. And she panics because she hates flying anyway. Panics and spills everything about her to this total stranger. Every secret she's ever had, most of them concerning work, a lot with her boyfriend, lots of things that you wouldn't want anybody to know. She's talking about her underwear. I kid you not. It's hilarious, this scene when she goes off. Well, then she gets off the plane. She's fine. She moves on in her life. Thinks, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. It was just a stranger. What's he going to care? Goes to work on Monday and finds out he's the CEO of her company. He's come to England to view their business or view their branch. And they start to fall in love too. But it's just really hilarious. It's just a laugh out loud funny. If you want a book that will cheer you up and make you feel better about your own life, this is the one to read. Sorry I went on for that one, but I just love that book. This one I just found on Goodreads the other day. It's the first in a series, and it's French, so I don't even know how to pronounce it. Murder in the Marais? I'm not sure. I'm sure the S is silent. By Carol Black, and this is the first one in a mystery series, and it looks really good. All of the titles have some kind of building or place in the title. It's around the world kind of a thing, so it's interesting. Here go all my books. The next one is by Carol Higgins Clark, which is Mary Higgins Clark's daughter. Everybody's read Mary Higgins Clark, I'm sure, the detective mysteries. Carol writes detective mysteries as well, but she writes them more on the funny side as opposed to creepy. They are creepy at times, but this one's Gypped. It's the newest one. It's been out for a little while, but I haven't read it. It's the same girl throughout it. Reagan Riley is in every single one of them, and these are her cases that she solved. She's a private investigator, but they're really kind of funny and light and not very long reads, so they're really fun if you want a simple little mystery to read. The next one I got at our new library, because we just moved towns. These are all from our old library, but our new library, which is quite small, but it was pretty nice. I picked up a book that everybody's talking about, so I had to grab it. Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn. It looks really good. I'll let you know if I like it. I usually do like these kind of books, so it should be fine. These are the ones that I about flipped out when I saw them on the shelf because they're pretty new releases, and the one thing I love about my library is that unless it's summer, the YA section, nobody seems to check anything out, or maybe a couple books go out at a time. So when I put in new releases, they're on the shelf. So it's so exciting. I don't have to actually put my name in for request for it even. They'll just show up one day on the shelf. I'm like, yay! So the first one is Nobody, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Looks really good. And then this one looks hilarious and creepy. Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. She has another series. I haven't read it, but if this one goes well, I'll probably read her other series as well. Another one I got, which I was really thrilled, was Through the Evernight by Veronica Rossi. I've already read it and returned it, but it was really, really good. And the last book I have to share with you is actually a book I bought for me and my daughter, or not bought, checked out from the library for me and my daughter. Fairy House Handbook. I just thought this book looked so great. It shows you how to make your own little fairy houses using stuff in nature, which I just thought was so cool. And when spring comes, I was hoping the snow would be gone, but it's not, so we could have done this week. But look at all that. Isn't that cute? In my mailbox for this last 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll see you next week, and everyone have a good week. Thanks. Bye.